rabbiting on about before. It's more or less the most standard map. And spawning in the bottom corner of the map, we've got Greeky as the blue Kelp player. And he's taking his first hunt, although it looks like his scout's fucking glitching out on him. Oh my goodness. You poor bloke. That's really gonna slow him down by probably only about 4 seconds, but still, a bit inconvenient. Meanwhile, Borg has managed to find some goats. Is it sheep or goats we got today? It's goats. Yeah, we got goats today. So we've got storehouse first, looks like. Barracks follow up for both players. Would not be surprised. Seems to be pretty much the state of the game. Although in saying that, there's a lot of consensus around, in this matchup anyway, around range and around range first from both Persian and Babylonians against the Celts. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I'm just sort of muttering. Basically, I just think it's a bit funny that Borg nearly always takes the barracks first, regardless of matchup. Persian and Babylonian players often will go for range first on small maps, first against Celt, or stables first on big maps. But Borg makes it work. And in saying that too, on the big maps I do think he opts for stables first a lot of the time. Already scouted the opponent's base here from Greeky. Just checking out what's going on. Hey man, what's up? Small spearman filing up for Greeky, so he's going to try and push into him quite heavily. So I wonder if we're going to see something similar to the last game, where one player hits the other and there's a bit of a counter push, and Borg's storehouse is on the forward side of his base, whereas Greeky's sort of tucked away here. Not necessarily the safest position, because probably here would be ideal, because then you've got to run all the way around there. But in saying that, it's still pretty safe for Greeky, and pretty risky for Borg, because it's pretty much side on from the town centre. But if he can get the 8 tent in time, which I think he was probably going to queue up in a second. So yep, here we see the 8 tent already queued up. Gonna do the villager dance, just shake them around a bit. Try and get them as close to the storehouse as he can, but further away from a spear. So he picks the spearman off, another one sort of forced to retreat away from the bundle. This is quite smart of Borg, but also quite lucky. He's got this second hunt pretty much adjacent to everything here. He just needs to maintain pressure to protect this storehouse, and he can get away with pretty much no loss here, which can be really hard for Greeky to sort of have to deal with, or for any Celt player, because from here they've probably got to look at transitioning to Age 2. So another spearman coming in. It's going to eventually get singled out, I think. Oh, but this isn't so good for Greeky. The spearmen doing the dance. They are faster units than this Barabara though, so Greeky shouldn't try and dance too close, because if he gets snared, they're not going to make it back out like they would in the past. It's recently been patched, so be aware, Celt players. Persian players rejoice. Sparabara can actually snare lock spearmen now, so if you got two of them simultaneously attacking the spearman, he ain't going fucking nowhere. Greeky trying to take down one of these Persian villagers, but he's going to lose a couple of spearmen for his troubles. Meantime, Borg turning it around. He's got plenty of Sparabara here. Greeky is going to get a couple of kills here, but he's been forced back off the hunt. So he's going to need to pick his gloves, or look at taking another hunt, considering the first one is well and truly depleted by now. So his second hunt right over on the far side, over on the front side of his base. So both players taking their H2. They've got the stone to throw up a town centre. Greeky actually having his cancelled because the berry bush clipped with it, I think. Borg throwing his up. It's actually a really nice spot. He's able to retake everything here, so Borg gonna try and put pressure on the town centre. Greeky sends in the extra villager just to try and force it up that little bit quicker. He gets over on the far side, so this is quite smart. He's got his long swordsman mixed in. He's going to be able to mop this up quite quickly, actually. The long swordsman have got that nice multiplier against the infantry, so... But in saying that, the town centre gets destroyed, and it's cost Greeky about 120 stone. This is really going to set him back. Borg, in the meanwhile, his is nearly finished, so Greeky down a town centre for about the next minute. Is really going to hurt his economy. No military in production at the moment because he just doesn't have the gold to spare. Actually throwing up 3 economic upgrades at once. Borg's got 2 kicking in just as we speak. He's got his handsaw and his pickaxe upgrade. So Borg again forcing Greeky back off that front hunt. He's got a lot of units at the front, but he's been goated. I mean, Greeky's been goated. Sorry. So Borg really surgical. Sniping the town centre, sniping the storehouse on the hunt again. Greeky is going to have to try and get as much as he can out of these initial infantry because Borg has really managed to do so. Very quick garrison there from Borg, not even taking any damage. There's some very quick reactions there from Borg, losing nothing to Greeky there. Just a little bit of gathering time. Managing to kill one of the villagers too. So that's one of the beauties of having a fairly greedy town centre that does finish in time. Or that you sort of know that you've got the pressure flow to get finished in time. Is that once it's up, you can use it to defend with great ease. And Greeky, in the meanwhile, he's got the army composition disadvantage here. There's the bowman now, so he needs to really run through. Oh, he doesn't even manage to snipe the bowman, so he's still going to take extra damage from it as he runs through. So Greeky's really having to try and work something out here. He's going to interrupt a house here of Borg's, though. Maybe get a villager kill or two. And Borg is going to probably have to try and micro his villagers out of this. He's forced to have to withdraw all 10 of them, all 11 of them, so slows down his eco. But meanwhile, Greeky has to deal with the same thing going on back at home because Borg has pushed him off a hunt here and is going to try and push him off the berries now. It seems he's got a really nice bowman count. Meanwhile, back in Borg's space, he's losing a couple of these wood storehouses, but I think the town centre and the units that are going to pop out next are probably going to be able to clean this up for him. Neither player seems to have much of anything in the way of army production at the moment, which is a little bit weird. Both taking these fights against one another. We've got some slingers for Greeky now. Oh no, here we go. It must just be bugged and Borg just didn't have any. Okay. Borg managing to put some really good damage down on Greeky's base right now. He's cleaned up at home too, so Greeky again on the back foot. Can he deal some more damage elsewhere? He's still managed to keep the Persian player from getting any stables, but he's taken a significant hit to his economy. Actually, sorry, he has got the stables now. So got the Asavari out just yet, but Borg taking the quick age 3 behind this because he knows he's got the space to do it economically, and this is really going to hurt Greeky. He can't force out that age 3 quickly enough. He's going to need to get out enough to defend here, but I think this is going to pretty much be the death knell. If Borg doesn't throw away his army going into Greeky right now. But in saying that, if Greeky gets a nice slinger count and pushes in, knowing that Borg is probably doing something like this. Oh no, this couldn't be any good for Greeky right now because Borg can see what's going on. And Greeky is going to lose a lot of his infantry here because that's a high bow count. The slingers aren't going to have enough of a front line here to really get onto the bowmen. And Borg's early game with the Sparabar has just been phenomenal. Introducing the bowman at the perfect time here, and Greeky is just having to struggle with everything he's got. Unfortunately, going to lose another slinger. Silver Age kicking in for Borg. Greeky is going to try and make something happen. He's got 2 barracks, he's got 2 rangers, so he's got... Oh, here we go. So Greeky is actually deciding he's like, bugger it. You know what? I've just got to mass up as quick as I can and make something work. He's not going to catch up in terms of town centers now. He needs to push straight into his opponent and then do it. But Borg just has wonderful vision at the moment. Greeky doesn't seem to have much of an answer for all this map control of Borg's at the moment. He's not even out trying to snipe these storehouses. I mean, out trying to snipe these watchtowers. Force repeat ones coming up. With more watch posts being built by Borg. He definitely wants to see Greeky moving out. But Greeky could always turn this to his advantage because they're not free. And you do still have the faster composition with the infantry. In saying that, obviously you can get pushed into when that happens, but even a single one of them just chipping away at it can be worthwhile. And this is going to be a good pickup for Greeky now because Borg doesn't have a huge amount of food on incoming. He's got a good food economy, but this infantry is just chasing these villages around the map now. Couple of hits, not going to get any kills, but they're not gathering right now, and Borg trying to come in to find an opening on Greeky, but with the third, with trying to work towards his third town center, he's actually not had as much army coming out in the field just yet. He's been transitioning to the Immortals to try and get them out. The Immortals are a very strong anti-infantry unit. It looks like Greeky's got enough here to actually hold for now. Borg is waiting on those Immortals to kick in. Greeky's not really playing around as longswordsman, and from here he might just be able to hit age 3 himself. Ooh, it's really greedy from Borg. If he's going to get it up in time, but it's really far away. He's really trying to do that just to contest the gold mine, I think, and he's probably going to have to follow it up with a fortress as well, but it would not surprise me. Knowing how Borg likes to lock down the map with buildings like that over resources. Sort of like a, not so much like a proxy play, but just more like an eco sort of expansion play, really. And Greeky's trying to snipe the Immortal camp. Manages to do so. He's got a really nice slinger count here. The Immortals are able to really make quick work of the longswordsman, so Greeky is sort of just having to do this just to put Borg as on the back foot as he can, but Borg has that big economic advantage over him. And the Immortals with their mixed damage style, this makes him a phenomenal unit. Really difficult to trade into until you actually get the bowmen out, or until you actually get cavalry out. Borg army a little bit overextended here right now. Greeky managing to pick up some nice initial kills, but being forced to back off because ultimately the Immortals do trade quite well against the Slingers. Good number of druids mixed into Greeky's army though, but he needs to be careful not to lose too many of these villagers because they hit quite hard, these Immortals. Greeky now hitting Silver Age. He's got the stone to be able to throw up his third town centre almost. More upgrades on the way for Greeky too. So here we go. 300 stone. And is he going to get some more? Is he going to get transition to the bowmen? Yeah, here we go. So the bowmen are coming out. We can't afford to throw down too many stables, so maybe he's going to have to go with the spearmen too. And all the villagers on this gold mine of Greeky's being denied too, so Borg doing a great job at locking him down over the gold. Greeky's army still dependent on these bowmen dependent on the bowmen coming in. Oh, there's a nice pincer here from Borg, catching him out with the cavalry. He's going to get a good number of the slingers. Really thin down the ranks, just make it easy to pick out all the bowmen in the upcoming fight. And Greeky with the upgrades in queue, but they're not going to hit in time. Borg the same, he's got some upgrades as well. Both of them a fair bit in the queue. Borg up to 155 pop, Greeky down to about 135. Interesting to see if Greeky can hold here. He is situated right in between two town centres, so this is a nice spot to actually be fighting, but he doesn't have enough, I think. It looks like that's it. Borg pushes through to him. GG. Yes, I think Borg finding Greeky's town centre there was really the kicker. Not much he could do to defend from that. Really managed to delay Greeky's economy significantly at the start of the game.